उधर सांबर है, इधर टाइगर।
सांबर
उधर से कॉल आ रही है।
कोला जी।
हाँ हाँ, ये अलार्म कॉल होती है।
ये
हाँ,
हो सकता है टाइगर दरी उतरेंगे जब आगे सांबर है ना। लेकिन टाइगर है
और ये दुनिया का सबसे खूबसूरत एनिमल है।
In life, we are all guilty of doing some crazy things. We all love some places and some people more than the others. And we just cannot figure out why. Maybe that's the connection of heart, right? Not everything in life can be controlled by the brain. No wonder the brain is the most important part. It's like the motherboard which keeps us going, makes us successful, gets us to where we want to be. But then why did God give us the heart? To feel, to live, to feel alive, to do things that are completely irrational but still makes us feel good. So here we are one more time on the streets of Savai Madhopur. Everybody has a guilty pleasure, and for us, it is the land of tigers, Ranthambore. Around 1:30 in the afternoon, we left our hotel for the safari. Because we are so excited about the safari and do not want any delays, we go to the Shilpgram office directly and board from there. But we only do this when we drive to Ranthambore. If we go by train, we just get the permit released and get the safari jeep directly to our hotel. Around 1:45, we reached the Singhdwar gate. From Singhdwar gate, we picked up two more guests, an elderly couple who joined us for the safari. If you have booked safaris from zone 1 to 5, you have to enter the jungle from the Singhdwar. This is the common gate of Ranthambore's premium zones. At this main gate of the park, your guide will enter the jeep details in the official register. At this gate, your IDs will not be checked. The IDs are checked at the specific zone entrance gate only. Here, you can rent binoculars or buy hats, scarf, stoles to save yourself from the sun and dust. Let me tell you the significance of tiger conservation in India. A famous tigress from Ranthambore called Sultana has her territory on this main road. She lives in Zone 1 and 2 of the park and is regularly seen on the Fort Road. She recently gave birth to 2 cubs. A few days ago, when the park was still open, she was sitting with her cubs on this road. And because the queen was sitting on the road with her little cubs, the main gate was closed. More than 100 safari vehicles waited for 1.5 hours as the forest department did not allow a single vehicle to enter the park. I feel so proud of the fact that tiger conservation is on top of forest department's agenda, and when it comes to tiger cubs, forest department does not take any risks. Unfortunately, a few days later, one of our cubs died after falling off this fort gate on the left into the water pond. There were speculations that the cub was eaten by the crocodiles in the water. The mother was shattered to lose an adorable young cub, but had to move on because she had one more to take care of and save the surviving cub from the other tigers and predators in the area. So whenever we come to jungles, we always say, "Wah, kya life hai tiger ki, din bhar so aur aaram karo." But that's not true. Tigers have struggled to survive in this cruel world. Thanks to the Forest Department of India, we still have them around, but there is a dire need to protect them from different dangers now. Anyway, our guide was Mr. Rafiq, who is the head of Naturalist Association in Ranthambore. He was so excited to share everything about Ranthambore's history and its tigers. He shared with us the significance of RTR in the Indian Tiger Conservation Plan and kept us busy throughout the stretch of Fort Road to our gate. Let's hear him talk a bit now.
Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of the country. He just came in Ranthambore for 7 days. He stayed at a place called Jogi Mahal on that zone number 3. There was no electricity, nothing at all. But he was published in media. Zone 2, Zone 4 and 5. And total zone is 10, 1 to 10. But 1 to 6, that is a premium part. Premium part, that means that is the older part of Ranthambore. 7 to 10, that is the used by the different Maharajas. Little part belongs to the Nawab of Town. Little part belongs to the Maharaja of the Karoli. So that time they have their own forest, so they kill their tigers. But tiger doesn't know the tigers are highly mobile anymore. So tigers used to migrate from here to the Karoli or from here to the part of the top Nawab belongs to them. So they used to shoot the tigers alone. And all the tigers in Ranthambore are equal by number which is helping for census. By name, because when you see the tigers, you see the tigers, when you observe, each tiger they have a different face marking, different style. It's very complicated, but we can recognize some of the tigers by name. According to the census, we are 80 plus tigers. Yeah. But tigers are good numbers, but the park is quite big. The whole area of the park is 1700 square kilometers. So what we do, we divide into 2 parts. One is called tourism zone, and second one we call the non-tourism zone. The non-tourism zone, that is the 80% part of the park, we just keep for the conservation. Only the 20% part of the park we open for tourism, and that is a non-premium part. But tigers are everywhere. What we did, the government of the Rajasthan, the forest department, they designed the zone according to the tiger territory. So each zone there are 2-3 tigers are living in there. Today we are going, that is one of the highest density of the tiger, zone 2. I saw the tiger yesterday afternoon. There is one tigress or one tiger. They were matting. They were hiding in the bush, but we will try for it. We are very optimistic. We are very positive. Inshallah, we will see it.
And in open jeep, like some tigers.
No, tigers doesn't come on the jeep, because we know the behavior of tigers. If the tigers whenever see the abnormal behavior, we try to make a distance. It's never happened, but we have to be careful all the time.
Because we have to be quiet.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be quiet, and while you're driving, it's fucking bit bumpy as well. So please always hold tight. And some branches living on the road, they belong to the acacia trees. They're having a thorn. So don't touch with the hand, try to avoid it, okay? And if you want to ask anything regarding Ranthambore, tigers, flora, fauna, you feel free to ask please.
Thank you.
So we all entered Zone 2 of the park. When you do a safari in Zone 2, the initial 10 to 15 minutes go in just driving quickly to the deeper ends of the forest. This is because Zone 2 is located at the back side of Ranthambore Fort. The area is dense and rocky, and that's why you have to go to the deeper ends of the jungle to find animals. Not saying that you cannot find animals here, but the sightings usually happen in the core area. After driving for around 10 minutes, you would see this ancient remain of the fort, and once you cross this, you get to the beginning of core jungle of Zone 2. Now for us, this was our first time in this zone, so everything felt new, and we wanted to stop at every animal we saw. The first set of animals were these Sambar deer grazing. We thought of waiting for a while to get some good shots. Anyway, it was too sunny at the moment to look for tigers. Look at the backdrop of the fort and the beautiful animals. There was a jeep right behind us who was getting a little restless about us blocking their way. They asked us a couple of times to give them way, but our guide told them to wait for 2 more minutes. And in these 2 minutes, we captured this cute little Sambar deer baby. From the frame, this baby looks like he's alone here, but there were around 40 to 60 more deer scattered nearby. The reason he was at the center alone is because he was being closely watched from all around by the adults of the herd. Sambar deer are not picky at all. They can feed on anything vegetarian, the fruits, grass, vegetables, branches, leaves, and much more. Because these are one of the favorite foods of tigers, their numbers have a direct impact on tiger population in many areas. So before the jeep behind us could kill us for blocking their way, we moved forward. Our next stop was a water hole, where usually during the day it's easy to find animals, and we found crocodiles. Our guide, because of his experience, was keen on giving us a complete tour of the jungle. He was focused on finding the tiger, but in the process of checking key spots of the zone, he also showed us different wildlife. According to the latest information, Ranthambore has around more than 400 crocodiles living across different zones. Majority of the crocodiles are found in Zone 3 because it has maximum number of natural water ponds, but there are a few in other zones as well. We have seen crocodiles in all zones of the park from 1 to 6. A little further, we found this big male Sambar deer resting by himself. He was less than 5 meters from us, and when you get this close to animals, you realize their huge build. Sambars are the biggest Asian deer species, and the bigger ones can grow up to 400 to 500 kilograms in weight. In fact, their antlers alone can grow up to 40 inches. After a while, we reached the area where our guide saw 2 tigers mating a day before. He stood up and scanned the hill. The problem with finding tigers at this side of the park is that the land is not open grassland, rather a hill. So if the tigers are resting up the hill behind the rocks or bushes, it's hard to see them. The ideology was that because tigers were in the mating season, they would not go far away from where they were yesterday. But the problem with this approach is that during the mating season, they wouldn't move much, and if they are hidden, there's no way we can find them.
चले सर बैठिए ये सुबह के लिए मदन भाई जो चलाए वाला हाँ बस
Per the discussion with other drivers and guides, it was confirmed that the two tigers came down the hill, but nobody was sure which side did they go. Our gut feeling told us to go near the water, as it was a hot day and they might be resting somewhere in the shade. So a few hundred meters away, we came to this water point. Near the water, the mud was a little soft, and if the tiger would have walked there, the pug marks would be clear. With no signs this side, the tigers probably were on the other side or inside the water. So we thought of waiting in the shade for any alarm calls or movement. While waiting, we got this beautiful spotted deer. Whenever you see an animal close to the water, always capture and try and create interesting shots. Try and get the reflection in the water. If the sun is good and the animal is at the right angle, a clear reflection in the water is visible. We wanted to do the same. Now, because this safari was a lot of waiting game around the same area where the two tigers were spotted last evening, we had to indulge ourselves in healthy conversations. Our guide, Mr. Rafiq Ji, told us about so many stories from the wild, and before we realized, an hour of the safari was over. Listen to him talk about some of the famous tigers of Ranthambore and their territories. Not only Ranthambore, he knew about tigers from other reserves too.
With the Noor. If you heard about 2018 or 19,
The fight.
you see the Rocky Male, 57, 58. And after that was the day, and after he loses his confidence, he immediately have to leave that place. And generally the male tigers who are the dominant, he never give up very easily. But the 57 have given very easily for that area to the Rocky Male.
What's the reason? Rocky is bigger.
Rocky is not, I don't think it's bigger, but the area which is they were mating, that area doesn't belong to the Rocky, it doesn't belong to the Jumbo. That area was belong to the Kumba. And Kumba used to be one of the most dominant male tiger in that area. And Kumba is only the tiger who kept the territory for a long time. I mean, that is exceptional in the wild. Generally, the tigers can keep the territory maximum 3 to 4 years. That tigers, Kumba, and one more tigers in Bandha called B2.
Okay.
Who kept the territory for the long time, the Chakradhar area and all. No?
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing. The Kumba kept the territory for almost 8 years in one place. So Kumba was one of the most strongest tiger, but tiger doesn't try to avoid the fight. So that was the reason Kumba started to leave the slightly the zone toward the 10 area.
Okay. So now he's rarely seen.
Now we can see the zone till now.
Okay.
So that time he left, he came back here, and after that, you know what happened? Noor, she having 3 daughters, which is belong to the Jumbo, 57. After she was shifted from here to the, unfortunately, MTR, Mukandra Tiger Reserve, and she died.
Yeah.
Sultana and Noori. Noori is one of the dominant tiger right now.
Yeah, she pushed Noor off.
Yeah. So I can say she is one of the most dominant tigers of Ranthambore right now. She kept the better part now. So he decided to leave the dead area because both daughters belong to the Jumbo. So generally tigers also avoid the genes.
Okay. Mating with the same
Mating with
genes.
the same, yeah. So he just went back the area which is belong to the Chanda. Chanda is a tigress called T63, which is belong to the first litter of Krishna.
Okay.
Chanda, Suraj and Akash. Suraj died. Even Akash also missing from last almost 1.5 years.
Akash was in 5.
Akash was in 564. Suraj was 65, who had died in a waterhole, a Lapur area. And Chanda, she's living in this area. We've been already that area. That area belonged to Chanda. And now again, the day before, it's like a new twist. 101 came here and 57 came the last night. And T60, she cannot decide either she have to live with the Jumbo, she have to live with the Badal. Because Noori come up to this area. This is the starting area of the Noori.
Okay.
So Noori is one of the most powerful tigers right now.
Okay. And Ladli's litter is also fathered by Kumba.
Yeah, Ladli litter is also fathered by the Kumbaya.
Did you also hear the fight of Viru and Fateh? Like here, because I heard villagers heard the...
No, the last litter was belonged to the Rocky male.
Okay. The
Ladli,
one with the...
Yeah, the all three, the 128, 127, 128, 129.
Okay.
They all belong to the Rocky male.
Okay.
First litter belonged to the Kumba.
Kumba, okay.
You know, Sundri. She went in that area. So that is a non-tourism part. But Krishna Arrowhead is getting, I mean, day by day is getting upset because there's 3 different valleys coming now. But I'm hoping the Badal can be better, dominant male of the, we call it like, kind of the Tarai areas, hill areas.
Yeah.
But she have to decide either she have to leave this way or she have to leave that way. If she will decide from this way, then she will never go to the lake area. Till the Riddhi will dominate in this area.
Is Riddhi expected to have cubs soon?
Let's see, she met thrice with the Badal. And Badal is, Yodha is showing dominancy all the time on the zone 3, growling, roar, try to leave the lake areas near the palace ruins.
Okay.
I mean, even last, but the February, the last one, which is after February, we can tell East Tigers territory who are living in the permanent area. Because Yodha is still, generally the tigers, they mark the territory, they make their own trail, but still they are making very different trail. So let's see, we'll wait for 15-20 days.
Okay.
After that, we can decide which is the better or who is the dominant in these areas.
So currently Noori is...
Noori, I can say she is one of the most dominant. That's why she having 3 cubs,
Okay, yeah.
She live in a zone 2, she live in a zone 1 also.
She's quite old also, 6, 7.
Noori, no. Noor is one of the oldest one. Noori is young tiger. She'll give the first time the beetle. No?
Okay.
They are hiding in this area. They're playing. They're just playing.
After waiting for a while and getting no results, we speculated that the tigers might have left this area. So we moved further to a different tiger's territory. Zone 2, 3 and 4 of the park are so prominent that the areas here overlap territories of different tigers. So don't be sad if you don't find one. There might be another one very close by. If I recall my time in Zone 6 of the park back in 2019, we saw 5 different tigers in just one safari. And 4 of them were like around a few hundred meters away from each other. As their space gets shrinking and parks like Ranthambore get saturated with tigers, these tigers will eventually evolve to live in harmony with each other. They might not be seen together, but might just fight a little less and avoid to cross each other's paths. Because when humans fail to improve things, nature takes the command in its own hands. Around 45 minutes before the safari end time, we started moving towards the exit gate, and on our way, we noticed a jeep from a distance waiting at the center spot. Maybe they had some information which we did not, and it is that time of the safari when the real fun happens, the time of tiger movement. When we reached, they told us that there were a couple of calls from a spotted deer nearby. They had been waiting for the past 20 minutes, but nothing had happened. So they asked us to wait here while they go check further ahead. This Sambar deer looked alert, and Sambar deer is the most reliable of the signs in the wild to track a tiger. They say Sambar deer cannot see much, and that's why they only call when they actually see a predator up close. But the deer was not calling out for the tiger, rather for this black beauty. Do you see the shadow out far in the woods? Slowly, the shadow got brighter and started coming towards us. A black fur ball of Ranthambore, a sloth bear. Sloth bear is not the animal that is appreciated by a lot of safari guests. But sloth bears are rarest than tigers. You might see multiple tigers in Ranthambore throughout your time here, but in your entire wildlife career and journey, you might just see a sloth bear once or twice. Even though sloth bears have a majorly vegetarian diet, they are known to scare the tiger away. When with cubs, they would stand on their hind legs to make themselves look bigger and ferocious. We hope to see a tiger and bear encounter once in the wild. As for the tiger, they are known to be skillful ambush hunters. They would not approach a bear or other animal from the front, but if they are able to ambush a bear, they can take them down easily. Sloth bear cubs form a part of tiger's diet sometimes. The clock was ticking and the bear was really far. Plus the trees made it difficult to focus. He was coming close but very slowly, and we had to go out. One last time he looked at us and made our day in the wild memorable. This was the third sloth bear sighting we had in our lifetime, and we have seen more than 40 wild tigers. Our guide and driver were kind enough to wait for us to take good captures of the sloth bear. We rushed quickly to the exit gate. The safari was a great way to start our Ranthambore tour. We have 3 more safaris coming up, Zone 3, Zone 4 and Zone 5. So a lot to look forward to. And then when we reached the main gate where safari jeeps from all other zones also meet, we got the information that none of the jeeps in any of the zones got to see a tiger, except Noori in Zone 1. So as I have said before, there is hardly a day in Ranthambore when all the safari jeeps come back from all the zones without seeing a tiger. And Noori lived up to the name of Land of Tigers. We hope you enjoyed watching this video of Zone 2 of Ranthambore, and when you go next time, this zone would appear more familiar. We intend to make this video in Hindi as well for our lovely subscribers who want to watch wildlife vlogs in Hindi. For now, let me take your leave and go back to our hotel to get some rest. We will be back soon with more videos of Ranthambore. Till then, keep discovering wild paws.